Once upon a time, in a kingdom filled with beauty and prosperity, there lived a young prince. From the moment he took his first breath, he was showered with affection and gifts. His every need met before he even realized it. Servants attended to his every whim, ensuring that his life was one of ease and comfort. In his world, hardship was merely a distant tale, and the struggles of those who served him were invisible, hidden behind the polished walls of his grand existence. One day, the prince had to go on a journey to a faraway land. His carriage was traveling down a country road when suddenly the wheel broke, causing the carriage to swerve dangerously close to an old gypsy woman who was walking on the edge of the road. Startled, she fell to the ground in fear. The prince angrily got off the carriage and shouted at her.
"Watch where you're going, old woman."
The woman, trembling, simply bowed in silence and hurried away. Frustrated, the prince then turned his anger toward his servants, ordering them to find help. They quickly left him alone near a nearby farm. As he stood there fuming, the gypsy woman, now at a distance, cast a curse upon him for his unkindness.
As a prince, you must learn kindness. Until you do, let the emptiness within you shape your outward form.
Suddenly, the prince felt an unsettling chill spread through his body, his limbs growing numb and heavy. Before he could react, he collapsed by the side of the road, his form transforming into a lifeless scarecrow. When the servants returned and discovered his absence, they began to search frantically. An old farmer who was returning home discovered the scarecrow lying by the side of the road. Noticing it was just what he needed, he decided to take it with him. He brought the scarecrow to his farm and set it up in the fields, placing it in position to guard his crops. Night fell on the farm, and the scarecrow suddenly transformed back into the prince. He could now move and speak, but his previous experience left him feeling deeply frightened. He tried to run and find someone to help him, but as soon as he stepped outside the farm, his limbs felt numb once again, and he would transform back into a scarecrow. Over the next few nights, the prince repeatedly attempted to escape. Each time, as soon as he stepped beyond the farm's boundary, he felt the familiar numbness take over and would transform back into a scarecrow. Despite his efforts, he faced the same unchanging result each night. At first, he was filled with anger, unable to understand why this had happened to him. But as the days passed, and he watched the old farmer toiling tirelessly under the scorching sun, the prince's anger slowly gave way to sympathy as he realized the immense effort and dedication the farmer put into his work each day. The prince decided that he could not stand idly by. Each night, when he was free to move, he began to help the farmer. He quietly worked under the cover of darkness, tending to the crops, repairing tools, and ensuring the farm was in order. Though the farmer never saw his mysterious helper, the prince found solace and even a sense of joy in these nightly tasks, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known before. Even during the day, when he was bound to the scarecrow's form, the prince began to focus on the small things he could be grateful for. The gentle rustling of the leaves, the sweet songs of the birds, and even the farmer's off-key singing. These simple joys, once unnoticed, now brought him a sense of peace and contentment. The farmer had a bountiful harvest that season, far better than any before. In gratitude, he bought a new coat for the Scarecrow, believing it had somehow brought him good luck. As the farmer dressed the Scarecrow in the new coat, it suddenly began to glow with a warm golden light. The farmer stepped back in awe as the glow intensified, and before his eyes, the Scarecrow started to transform. The straw and fabric shifted and reshaped, turning back into the form of the prince. In that moment, the curse was broken, and the prince stood before the farmer, free once more. The prince, overcome with emotion, hugged the farmer in joy and gratitude. The prince returned to his kingdom, but he was a changed man. Filled with a deep sense of gratitude and a newfound mission, he dedicated himself to helping everyone in his kingdom, spreading kindness and compassion wherever he went. One evening, as the prince looked out over his kingdom, he reflected on his journey. He realized that even during the hardest times, finding small things to be grateful for and practicing gratitude consistently had been the key to his transformation and inner peace. This newfound wisdom guided him as he continued to lead with compassion and kindness, teaching his people the importance of gratitude in every moment. This is Zen Motivation. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more inspiring content in the future.